first in a series of tutorials showing how to use the gesture system in the Space Virtual World platform to create animations and so much more than animations. The gestures in Space are single person, they can be synchronized multi-person animations deployed anywhere in world, and you can also add timed audio files, particles, props, swords, whatever, visual effects, and you can also add camera animations, so you can have specific shots of specific characters at specific times. And it's important to note that all of these components are synchronized on the user's desktop. So it allows you to compose and can choreograph entire scenes, almost little movies inside the virtual world that anybody can do on their own or with each other or with non-player characters anywhere in any region. So we'll go through all of those different components in these tutorials, but the first thing we're going to do is show just how to do a very simple single person gesture. This one's going to be a dance. So we'll show how to set it up and how to export it. So to follow this tutorial, you need to have installed Unity. You need to have created an account at curator.sine.space, and you need to have imported the Space Editor pack into your Unity project. And when you've done all of that, you should see the Space menu item in the top menu bar in Unity there. And in your project, if you search it, you will find a scene called Gesture Preview. When you open that scene, you'll see something like this. There's actually two models in here, a male and a female model. If these are the standard space avatars, you might be working with OpenSim models or something else. You can just drag those in here. But this is essentially a factory floor scene. These models obviously don't play any part when the virtual good is exported. This is just to preview everything as you're setting it up. So my single animation you can see here, it's a dance move where the final edit work was done in Motion Builder. Here you can see just the dance on the skeleton. I'm sorry, you're getting a low frame rate. Probably my screen capture software is only giving me a low frame rate, but this is 30 frames per second motion captured animation. This is the original. It's worth noting we do have finger animations and facial animations as well, so you can animate not just the body but any part of the hands and face at the same time. So I've exported from here an FBX file which you can see here, and I'm going to copy this file, and in my project here I can right click on a folder and I can open it in Explorer, and then I can just paste the new animation that I've created here, and then you'll see that it imports the file. And I've done that because when you import an FBX file, there are some settings that you need to attend to before you can use it. You'll see when I highlight it, there are three tabs in the inspector here on the right hand side, one for model, rig and animations. And the first one I need to tend to is rig, where I need to set it as a humanoid. And actually I animated this using our model in Motion Builder, so I can use this model or the other or another avatar to define it. So I'm going to go and find so I copy from other model, and I'm going to go and find the model in the project, which is the male avatar here. If you're working with a different model, you can use Unity's mechanim system to translate across onto our model. There are lots of tutorials on Unity's website about how to use mechanim, but you can see here it's running okay. As a matter of course, I tend to apply the root transform. Now for a single person gesture, it's not terribly relevant because the offset isn't terribly useful, but when you're doing multi-person gestures, it's this offset that allows you to align the characters perfectly. Unity has lots of other useful animation tools in the game engine for looping and cropping and so on and so forth. It shows you when you have got a good loop. I'm not using those here because I've done all of the edit work already, but if you're bringing in a single FBX file with a single take and then you're taking clips out of that, you might use these components in Unity to chop out sections. It's a very good system, but that's all I need to do with this file for my purposes. So now I'm going to grab from the editor. You should have some prefabs from us, and I'm going to grab the one-person template. This is an object I can use as a template to make my animation. Now actually I can create this quite simply. You can see in the inspector when I highlight the object that there are an avatar effect script and an avatar animation effect script, which allow me to apply the animation file to the object. And then there's a virtual goods script, which is a generic product script, which you'll see in other tutorials as well. If you want to, you can just create this yourself quite easily by in the scene or in the project creating an empty object, and then you add the component of the virtual good script and add another component. I think they actually come together, those two. If you scroll down, you'll see there's an avatar effects folder in the components, and it's the animate single avatar there brings both of these components in. So it's easy enough to recreate this, but I'm just going to use the template that I've got. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to duplicate it in the project. So Control D creates another copy in the project for me so that I retain the original, and I'm going to give this one the product name Barracuda, which is the product name of the dance. And now I can drag that into the scene, and these are, if you want to make something that's specific to a skeleton, to male or female, you can use this here. This one isn't. The trigger radius isn't relevant because this is a single person animation. You'll see how the trigger is used with multi-person gestures. It's how you invite a guest to participate, so I don't need to worry about those here. It is looped. If it was an emote waving or whatever, then it would be unlooped. And here is where I'm going to actually dragging the animation itself. And for this, I don't want the parent FBX file. I want the take from within the FBX file. So I'm grabbing the take that I can see here and dragging that across into the clip field. Again, the participant is myself. The start time, you can delay the launch if you want to. For a single person animation, the participant is always going to be the initiator, but you might be doing things with NPCs or with multi-person characters. You'll see that in further tutorials. Again, fixed height, probably not relevant for a dance move like this, but if your avatar is interacting very precisely with an object, maybe they're grabbing a door handle or they are doing a fist bump with another avatar, shaking hands or whatever, then this is one way that you can align the height so that you don't have the problem of a really tall avatar reaching for a door handle that's a foot below their hand. But not relevant here because the dance move isn't interacting with the rest of the environment in any way. So that's all I need to do really, is drag that object into that field, and now I can press play and I can preview it in the editor. I haven't applied any camera to this, so I'm just seeing it from the camera in the scene, and the user will just see this from the default camera position in World, the default third-party camera position. They can pan around themselves, obviously, while they're doing the gesture. So now I'm just going to fill in the product information. It's a gesture. I'm going to leave the default language as English. The product name, this is what will actually appear in the store. Product name is Barracuda. I'm going to call it describe it as a single person dance move, which is not very imaginative. The brand is, let's say, sine wave dance. As per other tutorials, you can have as many brands as you want. You can localize it so that you can do different language versions of the product name and description, so you can do it in Chinese and so on and so forth. Obviously worth doing because Space is a very international platform. There are people from all over the world logging in, and your sales will, one would assume, be improved if you are fully internationalized in your product descriptions. Now I've got slots for 3 images: the store image, the inventory icon, and the brand icon. These are square images. The store image obviously will be seen in the store. It should be a 430 by 430 PNG. The icon going in the inventory, in the user's inventory, is 96 by 96, again a PNG. And the logo, which will be seen if you create a showcase vending machine selling this object, is 140 by 60, again a PNG file. This is for sale, so I'm going to leave not for sale unticked. As with previous tutorials, silver is a promotional credit which people earn by doing activities in world. Gold trades against the US dollar at 10 to 1. It's up to you to say whether you want your individual products on a product by product basis to be available for promotional credits. We would broadly recommend that maybe 10% of your inventory be available in silver, because that's introducing you to early users of the platform. It creates more product overall to entice early users in. And then maybe the other 90% of your inventory is only available for gold, and people actually have to dig into their jeans in order to get hold of that item. So the rating on this is everybody. There's no explicit content. The developer name, as distinct from the brand above, is the legal entity that operates the account, that owns the intellectual property. The multiple brands you can use because there's a type of vending machine you can use that's tied to the brand, so you can sort of organize people browsing in your region. If you have one, they can browse different vending machines with different subsets of your work in there, but the developer is the operator of the overall account. I'm going to set the category. It's a single person dance. Where is it? There we are. And now, obviously, I've done everything I need to do. I want to submit it. It's grayed out here because I am still working with the copy of the product that is in the scene. And what I need to do is submit from the copy in the project folder. So that means I need to commit all these changes that I have made to the version in the project. So I come up to the top of the inspector, and I click Apply. You can see that the version in the project folder at the moment has none of that additional information that you've just seen me added. But now I click the Apply button, and now you'll see when I come to the version in the project file, all of those product information and other settings that I ran through are now visible, and the submit button is live on this version. Actually, I was going to set this for a silver price. So now I submit, I will get 3 emails telling me that it's been received, that the processing has begun, and that the processing is complete. And when the processing is complete, I will be able to review it in the preview server before then pushing it to live, where it will be on sale. So now I'm in World, and I'm going to show, because I'm the owner, the item appears immediately in my inventory. But I can go to the shop as well and see how anyone else will see it. So I click on gestures, and here I can see the item. I can purchase it for silver or gold as we set in the editor. And if I tick on it, I've put it in my hotbar already there, you can see it playing. I haven't added any camera, so I can use the in-world camera controls to sort of zoom around on my character as the animation plays, but all I've imported is the character animation itself. In the next tutorials, we'll look at how you can start adding custom-built cameras and props and doing 2-person gestures. I hope this was a useful tutorial.